Hello TDS world. What we have here is a TDS 744A with a problem on the screen. What was happening is that the shutter, the color shutter was out of sync and was every second you would see stripes going up and down, and also the colors were completely off. Anyways, just because of the nature of this setup, I cannot troubleshoot this, and I cannot inject any power to it. The way they have done it is weird, but I've come to a realization that I cannot fix this for now. What I have done is I found on a local electronic shop a person that was selling some 6.5-inch screens that fits exact same opening of the TDS 744A. I believe the resolution was 640 by 480, whichever way those numbers go. I don't know. I don't remember exactly, but according to some research that I've done, this particular screen and this particular resolution fits and suits this scope very well. So here's what I've done in the back. As you can see in the back, I've hot glued the screen and also the inverter on the back of the screen, right? And then the driver board, the video driver board, I have screwed it on the bottom of the opening there where the CRT driver board used to be. And as far as the power goes, I purchased this on eBay, this DC to DC converter from 24 volts to 12 volt output at 3 amps. So the 12 volt goes into this driver board with that type of connection, which is the yellow and black line. And then the input, the 24 volt, is coming from the video connector on processor board. So what I've done here is I've kept the red, which is 24 volt, and then black is negative. I have made this weird looking shape that when you plug it in, it's not gonna go in any other direction except the way it is. So you're not gonna mess up anything when you plug that in. I'll show it to you when I plug it in. So as far as the power goes, that's it. And then what I did is I have disconnected the FGA video output from the back of the scope, the connector, and then I used a VGA video cable going from the main video board through this cable into this ribbon cable back into the processor video board. So that's the monitor output. So pretty much the monitor output in the back is gone. I have removed it completely to accommodate this type of connection. And as far as the screen goes, I had to I had to notch this opening here to suit the menu connectors for the video driver board, which the way I've done it is pretty simple, to be honest with you. I just found a 5 mini switches, and I drilled them into the top of the TDS screen frame, and I also installed it an LED, and that gives you a visualization of what buttons does what. And the way I've done it here is with hot glue. I have connected all the switches, including the LEDs, to the ground, and then all switches according to the connector that I had to its function, to what it does on the menu. When you press menu, when you press up and down, execute, and all that. So it worked out very good for me, to be honest with you. Instead of dealing with this crap here, trying to figure out what is wrong with it, I find it very useful to go on this route, and the quality is absolutely superb. And also what I've done, I found this plexiglass, which is about close to 1/4 of an inch, which at the very end, this will go like this to protect the screen, and also to give it a little bit of a rigidity, because you don't want anything to bump into the screen and then the screen will crack. So like I said, with this screen, 6.5 screen, 4:3 ratio, which is suited for this oscilloscope, it works perfectly fine. I'll show it to you once I turn it back on, and also I will record the way this connector goes into the video processor board of the oscilloscope to get the 24-volt output. And then from that 24-volt output, I converted to 12-volt DC 3 amps, which turns on this video driver board. And then from there, from the VGA cable, goes into this video connector, where before it used to be the outside monitor connector, external connector. And the rest of connectors are pretty simple. You've got the first connector, which is on the left side, is the menu connector with the switches and all that, and then in the middle is the inverter, and then you've got the video screen connector. Excuse me. And pretty much this is it. So I'm going to put it back together and show it to you how this works on after it's put all together. This screen is very is very good screen. TFT is industrial grade, and it works perfectly. No scratches, no nothing. The colors are superb. And once I put this together, then I'll show it to you guys how this works. I'll be back in a minute. So right now I just placed that the dividing shield there, or whatever that plate is called, I don't know, but I'm just putting the screws on now. Here we are back after I have put on the video processing board, and now is to this special connector that is very crucial not to mess up with the power and the pin. So as you can see here, with a hot glue, I've created a go no go structure where only the left top pin of this connector, where it used to be powering the CRT, and the left pin is negative, and the right pin, as you can see, is red. Also is the top right pin, and which is 12 volt, and top left pin, which is negative. I mean 24 volt, I meant to say. So the red is 24 volt and the black is negative. So the way this goes is pretty simple. You cannot mess this up. It goes only in one direction, and as you can see, these two also hold it in place that will not move. Tuck the cables here in the back, and pretty much this is it. And this one will power up after the processor is turned on. I mean, the oscilloscope is turned on, which means that the TFT video driver board will not have power until this oscilloscope is powered up, which is very important because you don't want the screen, although the screen goes away after a few seconds, but you don't want the screen to have the power on all the time, knowing that these are electronic components and they have limited time for those to function. You know, after so many thousands of hours, they go bad. But the way I did it is the screen itself will only get power once the scope is powered on. And as you can see here, this is the menu connector, which I have installed those mini switches on the screen outer frame. So I'm gonna put the rest back on, and then I'll video again for you guys to see how this works. Be right back. Alright guys, so now the scope has been put together. As you can see here, I photocopied the menu from that screen, and with a double sided tape, I stick that strip on the plastic frame to know what button does what. So far I only know these 4 buttons, what they do. This is a menu, on and off, and then up and down, plus auto tune, but I don't know what this other button does, and when I press it, it doesn't show me any functions, and it does not have any icons or anything to explain what it does. So also the LED, I have removed the dual color LED. I only put the green, which means it will turn on only when the screen turns on. So let's turn it back on and see what it does. There we go. So this is with the screen, with the TFT screen, and as you can see, the moment it turns on, it shows that there's no cable, which also is normal because the video processor board has not produced the video source yet. So right now it's fully, almost fully loaded up, and passed. So press this clear menu, and as you can see, the screen is fabulous. Let's do with auto tune first. So by pressing and holding this up button, it recenters the screen perfectly fine. So now I can access the screen menu. You press the menu here, and then you go up or down, whichever way you want it, and then you can access the sub menus and whatnot, and then go to exit, which is the last line here, and then press menu again, and it disappears. So you can increase the I believe also the resolution from 680 to 720, I believe. But also you can increase the sharpness, the contrast, the bright and colors and frequencies and whatnot. So it's fully functional, pretty much mini monitor, but it fits perfectly fine there. The only bad thing, which I don't see it as a bad thing, is you see around the edges of the screen it has a silverish outer frame there, metal, which is okay by me. I don't see it as a problem at all. So after all this is been installed, I've got this plexiglass which has two marks, one here, if you can see right below the desk edge, and also another mark here, which I'm planning to put them on the polishing machine, and I can polish it perfectly fine. But the way this is gonna go is like this. As you can see, it gives the screen a good protection, but also it emphasizes the colors for some reason. It really does. Even on the different angle, you can see like clearly all the details of the screen, whichever whichever way you can look at it. And I'm sorry for the coughing, because it's been like 15 days since I've been locked in the house. They told me that I've had COVID virus or whatever. So during the downtime for me, I had to play with something, and this was a perfect project for me. So what I'm planning to do with this plexiglass is that I am going to use a double-sided tape to catch that metal frame around the screen. So every time you remove this plastic outer framing, the glass will remain with the plexiglass will remain with the TFT screen. So it will work, and it works perfectly fine. As you can see, the menus and all that, the color display, nothing. I would say at least another 20% better than what it was before. Also, when I did this, at some point, this scope was giving me the signal pass compensation failing. After I have removed this screen, this CRT, believe it or not, I don't get that failing message again for the signal compensation. So could it have something to do with that, with those components here? Sure, I don't know. But the only way for me to work with this set is to create a bracket for this. Hold on one sec. To create a bracket that this CRT would be like this, right? To keep them together, and then remove the TFT same. Remember that that weird connection that I made? Remove that connector from that port and put this back on, so this entire set would be powered up in order for me to further diagnose this, because as it is now, I cannot do it in any other way but to put this somehow together, like on this like this, and connect all the wires and everything else, and hopefully that would give me enough space and enough power to diagnose it properly and further. But by doing that, by removing that connector, which is here, that powers a TFT screen, I would lose the screen. But in order for me to work with this board, I need to inject power. And I can externally inject some power there, but I believe this has a 24 volts, a 5 volts, and I believe 20 volts too. So I have to get the power from to this video board, CRT video board, from this connector. So that is for another day project. But for now, I wanted to share with you guys that this is how it looks. It looks fabulous. The colors are perfectly fine. No distortion or nothing. It is just perfect fit. I spoke to the guy and I said, where do these screens come from? And the guy told me that these are new replacement screens for CNC machines, either mill or lathe controller screen. And these were not even used. They were all completely, even the screen was with a plastic wrap on it. So these are brand new screens, which means is the life is just the beginning of the lifespan. Anyways, this is the update for this 744 744A Tektronix. But I also planning to upgrade this to 1 gig. As you can see, the menu button on the top of the plastic frame. As you can see, the light is on. I can turn the screen from this situation, so just press off and the screen is off. Press it back on and the screen goes back on again. Also, what I'm planning to do is to get a shorter VGA video cable or some type of ribbon cable, that instead of having that, you know, that VGA cable wrapped up around like that, which may create some noise. Which was, so far right now, I've checked this scope and there's no noise from the components that I've added at all, like zero. It's perfect. So the guy says that I can get more of these screens. He says, like, I bought only one and he sold it for $98, but he says that if you want to buy 5 or more, he can sell them for $75 each. And each monitor will include, each screen will include the following. There's the TFT screen, the inverter, the video driver board, the menu board, and digitizer, because these were touchscreen TFT screens. So that is also included. But he says on the touchscreen screens, I don't have more. You know, I only had 2. He sold it, one for me and one to another person. But he has non-touch up screen, like No touchscreen. He has, I believe, several of them. I don't remember exactly how many he does have, but if any of you guys are interested in buying any of these screens, let me know. I can do that for you, because when I checked on eBay for this type of screen, they were about $180 without the video driver board. Like crazy amount of money for the tiny screen like this. So this include, like I said, everything. And the best part of these screens are that all the um, bundle wires that connect to the menu, to the inverter, to the screen itself. They have about 8 to 12 inches length, which is suitable for this particular scope, because the video board is going to be somewhere centered here, and then you have enough length of wires for the screen, and also to reach in the back for the VGA output port. So I believe this wraps up this video, and is, like I said, is superb, best quality ever. After I do the double-sided tape for the plexiglass, this will be like no problem whatsoever. Sorry about the coughing again. The COVID-19 bullshit is hitting hard. Anyways, thank you guys, and like I said, if any of you guys want to know about this person that sells these screens, let me know. You know, for $100 I can send you one plus the shipping. I paid nearly that much money myself, but I'm willing to help the TDS Tektronix community any way I can. And if they are available, and if you need one, you let me know. I don't think the guy sells them online. He only does in-store buying and selling. And you let me know. As you can see here, I am going to do that project next. Like I explained to you before, I'm gonna somehow get that CRT and video and the CRT driver board put together in a way that they will remain close enough for all the cables to be connected, but also solid enough not to damage anything. And then I can inject the 24-volt power from the scope's processor video processing board. So that's it for now. This is it. I am very happy with this process. Very indeed colorful, and no blemishes whatsoever with the video menu. And I'll see you guys later. Take care.